And we're back with another video. Or should I say show? I mean, y'all come here to be entertained, so that's what we're about to do. We are about to entertain you because we do this for you, the viewer. Yes, I have not asked you for any change. I don't beg for any money. Well, once I get monetized, I probably will. But seriously though, if this is your first time here, I need you to do something for me. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this video so that it can reach others who would like to be entertained as well. It's not just you. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this video. Also, you can do one more step and hit that bell so that you can be notified of my videos whenever they drop. And trust me, you ain't gonna wanna miss some of these because we're just getting better and better. And today, we are about to cover this topic that seems to be going around the internet right now, and it is the topic of discussion for a lot of people, especially if you are dating. Even if you're not dating, even married couples can still talk about this same subject, and it is what I call in the thumbnail, the price is right. Now, the question is the price right? And what are you willing to do for it if we give you that price? If your price comes up, because I've always said everyone has a price, but we are talking about in dating. Yes, we are talking about dating and how the market has totally flipped where it's whoever has the bag, they get most of the relationships. They get most of the women. Yes, whatever fellas have the bag, gentlemen, y'all need to listen. Y'all need to listen closely because if you're broke, you're a joke. If you got money, ain't nothing funny. Straight like that. If you got money, then trust and believe we know what you are about and we know what you're doing, and I salute you because you are working hard and you are getting to the bag, and when you get to the bag, everything else comes with it. That's why you don't have to chase women. But if you are broke, then I'm sorry. You are the laughing stock of your town, your city, this country, and even your state. You are the laughing stock. You're the butt of the joke in female discussions. Yes, you gentlemen, if you are broke, my man, I'm talking to you. If you're broke, then you are the butt of these ladies' conversations. You are the butt of their jokes. They laugh and talk about you behind your back because you are broke. Why? Because if the price is right, then they will do anything for the bag. We all know this. And please don't get it confused. I'm not talking about all women. Again, we don't talk about all women. We're just generalizing. That's all it is. A majority of the women, if the price is right, they will do what it takes because that is why they take to IG. See, IG is just it's a softer version of OF. That's what IG is. It's a softer version of OF where you don't have to pay a subscription. But sometimes a lady will redirect you to her OF page from what? IG. So IG is more of a, let's say, advertising platform. That's what IG is. Think about that for a minute. IG is a advertising platform where women can advertise themselves, with the BBLs, the half booty naked pictures. Yes, they're advertising themselves. And then the smart ones, they redirect you to their OF. They will link their OF in the bio. So all you have to do is click a button, and guess what? You are on OF. And I was asking you to subscribe for $4.99. And fellas, how cheap of a woman must she be if she is only worth $4.99 a month? Now, don't get me wrong. All the subscriptions that you suckers, it does add up. That's why some of them are making $100,000 a month. We all get that. But at the same time, $4.99 is what your ass is worth. That doesn't say much for you, shorty, does it? So today we wanted to go over this CGA interview on women becoming pay to play. Yes, women becoming pay to play and getting corrupted. My man, Coach G, is going to go into it. He is going to explain what happened in the dating market from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s till now, up until now, and how if the price is right, she will play. You pay to play nowadays. That's what it is. That's all it is. That's why the men making the most money, the six-figure earners, the millionaires, the billionaires, are the ones having all the kids, while you broke suckers are what? Lonely. and childless. So yes, it can be men too. It's not just women that end up lonely and childish. It's men too. It's been happening to a lot of men lately. And we're talking about the men that get overlooked, the men that ladies just don't see. You know, the one in your nearest grocery store, the one at the Starbucks. I'm sure y'all have heard of these examples over and over and over again. I'm not going to regurgitate anything that anyone on social media or anyone on these platforms have said, because I want to cover other things in other spaces in dating and what's really going on. And that's why we are about to review this video with Coach G. So with that being said, let's go.
Dating itself here in America is totally changed. I think from when I got here,
Yeah.
and obviously when you've been here.
Yeah.
How would you say it's changed over the years?
Well, I'd say it's monetized. It's overtly monetized.
Pay to play, huh?
It's pay to play. They can disguise it however the ladies want to say it, luxury dating. They describe it as a whole bunch of things, but they're entitled to this. They're like, hey, listen, this is how we want to be courted. This is how we want to be romanticized. This is how you build us to be more secure. All of that is monetization, and they monetize it in a variety of ways. So it could be money, it could be the amount of attention you spend, the amount of time that you spend. At the end of the day, it's overtly monetized.
So I made a discovery a couple weeks ago myself where I saw girls showing purity on Instagram, right? But it's funny. You go to their link in bio,
Right.
they have a Twitter, they got a
Yeah.
Snapchat, and I'm like,
Yeah.
let me go see what's happening there. Bro, I kid you not. I was fooled for a second.
Right.
Because I saw purity on Instagram. I was like, okay, cool, modest, not too crazy.
Yeah.
But on Twitter, it was the Wild West. It was insane, bro. Bikinis, half naked. I'm like, what the fuck? But
Well-
if you didn't click link in bio, you would never know.
You would never know, but I think, this conversation's been here for a while. Myron's even talked about he wants his girl to delete the Instagram, right? So what was that, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah.
Right, now think about how much that's
Or it's got to be
changed.
private, bare minimum.
It's got to be private.
Bare
So,
minimum,
but think
yeah.
about that now. These women can't live without it.
Yeah.
And they would rather trade a possibility of a relationship. They're not going to delete the Instagram. They're like, well, forget it. You know what I mean? But that was the best possible relationship presented to them. So at this point, they
Or
can
at
make-
least have a login. Like, you got to be able to control it, is my point.
So
right?
you would have
With
to
the
be able
dude,
to control it. Yeah, right. So how many women are going to be able to do that today?
Oh, yeah.
Right. So
Yeah,
you
most girls won't let you control their shit at all.
Exactly. Why? Because they get attention from it. They
Absolutely.
get be able to monetize themselves.
And options
they,
too.
Yeah, and options.
Yeah.
So it's difficult because when we were doing, like last time I was here, we're talking about millennials having problems with dating. Now you got to remember this. It's coming back full circle. So Gen Z, we're talking about 17-year-olds to 25-year-olds, really. And they're being introduced to all of the stuff we've already talked about over the last few years with the Gen X and millennials. So these guys are like 22, 23. They were like 17 when we started talking. So they weren't listening to us, but
Yeah.
they're now experiencing, what the hell do we do with this beast? And I said, Gen Z guys will be the first generation that will have to deal with their girls being monetized, right? They got a TikTok, they got an OnlyFans, and the guys have to date. They have to consider dating girls with those things. We never had to do that.
I would argue nowadays with the advent of social media though and TikTok itself, you get clues and information about the girl beforehand. So for example, you go to her TikTok, she's talking about her last relationship, why it failed, why she got ghosted.
True.
She's telling you about herself in real time. So
Right.
there's a benefit to it as well, but also downsides as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. I would say I agree with that the Gen Z guys are going to have to deal with monetized women. And I would say, like, for us, it was monetized on the low.
Correct.
For them, now it's going to be monetized overtly. Like, it's going to be to a point where in the next 10 to 15 years, a guy might get with a girl, marry her, whatever. Then he finds out later on that his girl used to be a sugar baby, or she used to be an IG thought, or she used to sell feet pictures or whatever. And that's kind of where we're going, where women are overtly sexualizing themselves for monetization. Whereas like before, growing up, chick might strip, but nobody knows.
Nobody knew.
She might have a sugar daddy, but it was on the low, like nobody knew. So they moved a lot more quiet. But now with the internet, and also because we like have kind of mainstreamed it for girls to be promiscuous and to like make money off of men, it's mainstream now. Like and OnlyFans has shown that. You get girls that are like wildly successful. Like we had an Amaranth then.
Yeah.
She made like 70 million on
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
Bro.
So you got to
Incredible.
imagine, if you're a young woman, you see that, why wouldn't you take that route?
Exactly.
So they're
Yep.
going, and listen, I know a lot of young ladies, they're now 23, 24, 25. When they told me when they were 18, they signed up. You know what I mean? Like they did. So
They tried it.
You're right. A lot of women are going to try it, at least, or they're going to sell some feet pictures. They're going to have a sugar daddy. So
Absolutely.
now the guys have to deal with that in their past. Whereas before, I stripped, I had to pay my way through college. That was the old thing. Yeah, I had to pay my way through college. You understand? But today, the strippers are doing it to make money. They're not paying.
I find it funny. Even Amraf herself said that women shouldn't do this at the very beginning, especially because like you're not making any money.
Right.
She's a special occasion, but with them, bro, you may make what less than 1,000 if you
they're
try.
not gonna make that much
and
money.
they're doing the
They
most.
average like $100 a month.
Yeah,
something like that.
And they're doing the most.
Yeah.
Smashing on camera, doing everything, and it's like
Yeah.
that's all you're getting paid.
Yeah.
So is it worth it? No. But I'll tell you this though, it's even more discreet. You know what they do as well?
What's that?
Premium Snapchat.
Right.
So I'm
Yeah,
like,
you got
hold
that.
on. Okay, no OnlyFans, this is great. No X, awesome. But Snapchat, they sell videos on the low and they
Right.
make bank. I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
It's-
they can sell it on the low. They can go on the Sugar Daddy site and sell. That's all they're going to do is sell pictures to guys that want pictures, and so they don't want to have that digital footprint. Because listen, I'm in Las Vegas. I mess with some girls. These girls, if I take their picture and run a reverse image search,
bro.
it is crazy what pops up. I mean, I've had girls come up and they did the whole BDSM. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. And I'm not talking about very older women. These are 18, 19, 20-year-old women. They already have a digital footprint. So the problem is they're going to want to be enticed by the money. I mean, I would like, if I play ball, I see somebody sign 70 million, I'm going to go up there and go shoot, but they're doing the same thing of that. The problem is they're going to burn out 20, 21, 22, right? So the majority of them going to burn out. They're going to flame out, make $1,000 and get they pop all over the damn country getting flown in. Now what's going to happen? Somebody's going to marry them. But
Yeah.
that footprint's going to be there.
That's dangerous.
We never had to do that. We never even worried about that. What was TikTok? What was Instagram? What was Facebook? What we're talking about years ago, we're going back all the way back when Facebook didn't even exist. Matter of fact, I forget the MySpace or something like that. I don't even remember that. Like, we're going back to when people organically met and had relationships, like actual relationships. Not the shit that's going on right now online. Like, these online relationships are just weird. And I don't know how we've survived this long on the internet, dating online. I don't get it. But from what they're saying, not a lot of people are having kids, so the birth rate is pretty low. I wonder why.
So, Coach, you're a bit older than us, a bit more experienced and refined. You're in your 40s, right?
49, man.
49.
I'm about to be in my 50s, bro.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So,
Damn, that nigga old.
Yeah, old. Old head ass. Man.
Damn.
I've reached old head status.
but here's the thing,
Yeah.
a lot of wisdom, and I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
Can you kind of go through the decades of how dating has shifted from, let's start maybe the 90s
Yeah.
into the 2000s, the 2010s,
To now.
and to now? And we could just go through a decade, because this is because
Right,
I don't meet many guys that are red pill aware that reach your age.
Yep.
So I really want to know someone that has that red lens. You can kind of tell me the cultural and dating differences each decade.
Let me tell you something why that's important.
Yeah.
Because people hear, in the 90s it was better, in the 2000s, right? You hear about that and people romanticize that. But we all had our issues as well.
Of course.
Now down the line, you got to take Gen Z or a young millennial. They don't know shit. They this is their reality.
That's all they know.
And they know hyper feminist women, masculine women. They know women kind of playing both sides. They want a guy to take care of them, but then they want to be independent. We didn't have this thing. So I was born in the mid 70s. You got the 80s. They had a song called "Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent." No romance without finance. That was in the 80s.
Really?
Yeah, that was in the 80s.
So you're a kid hearing this.
So yeah, you were a kid hearing this, and it was like, okay, woman's gonna take half your money in divorce, right? That was on Eddie Murphy, Raw or Delirious. So no romance without finance, ain't nothing going on but the rent. So there was a little bit of this conversation going on, and the ladies would be like, yeah. But the problem is, women didn't make as much money as men.
Okay.
Like the corporate world wasn't like these boss babes.
There was still that expectation of the man being the breadwinner.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're gonna be the
So that
breadwinner.
makes sense.
And it doesn't matter if you rock with Fresh and Fit or not. I don't care if you like Myron. I don't care if you like Fresh. Doesn't matter. That's not what we're here for, because we get a lot of mixed opinions when it comes to these two fellas. They've been demonetized on YouTube and other platforms. It is what it is, but at the same time, they speak the truth. Some people just don't like how they come across and how they deliver it. But I just take things for what they are, and I roll with it. So you will get my point of view on these subjects versus their point of view, which some people can say is raw. And I'm really no different. But let's get back to the video.
So there was like 80-20. 20% of women could go that way, but the majority of women were like, hey, you know what I mean? I'm gonna need a man to take care of myself financially. So if you were out here single, you were out here struggling.
So this strong independent bullshit wasn't a thing in the 80s.
It wasn't that thick. It
Okay.
was starting to happen, but the majority of women hadn't latched on.
Gotcha.
The 90s, you start seeing it a little bit, a lot more, right? Queen
Now,
Latifah.
in the 90s, you're old enough to date now, right? At this
Yeah,
point?
in the 90s,
okay.
I'm dating.
So I
And
want to,
90, 93, I'm 18.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, 93, I'm 18. I'm in college.
What was that like?
So it still was women were in love. There was a time where the woman was sprung on you. You know what I mean? Like you were with her. She was your girl. You still had BS. You know, you still had cock blocking ass, dirty macking ass. You know, you still had the BS.
Yeah.
But it was still women were looking to get married. They wanted to have a family.
R&B times.
What's that?
R&B times.
R&B times, yeah. You talking about Jodeci and, you know, women would sit around. You could call the little TV show, the radio show, I dedicate my song to my girl. There was still that sense of relationships one-on-one were possible. Now, most guys here, they wanted to be like, everybody got a girl. Not really, not everybody got a girl. You still had to introduce yourself, cold approach, run game. You could do that. But I think the advantage...
Would it be fair to say it was a requirement back then?
Yes.
Yeah, there's no other option. You
There
have
was
to do
no
that.
digital.
Yeah.
You got to walk up and get the phone number. You had to have the pen and paper or remember the phone number. And then you had to go back and decipher the phone number if she wrote it. Okay, is that an 8? Is that a 9? And you dial 158 times to make sure that you get that number. And then you call her, and then you still have the games like, okay, I'm going to wait 2 days to call her back. Or you hit the answer
I'm going to put a
machine.
pin in that one because I got to ask you about that one later on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you still had to have game, mouthpiece. But I think the advantage was to the men. And so when you look at where women are, they don't want to go back to that.
That is to say, what I put in that thumbnail, The Price is Right, well, he just said and explained the very same thing. If the price is right, then she is going to play. And if you are a responsible young lady and you are watching this video, you know that money talks. Money does talk. Everybody knows that. From the young to the middle-aged to the old, we know that money talks. When you put money in front of somebody's face, guess what happens? Oh, if the price is right, they will play. And so dating nowadays has become an exchange. Yes, it's a currency exchange. See, before it was never like that. It was not a currency exchange. It was more of an exchange of energy, an exchange of effort, an exchange of work. I put in work and effort, you put in work and effort. But now it has clearly become an exchange of currency. It's money. Why do you think there are so many IG models out there? Why do you think there are so many OF models out there? If a majority of women have OFs and Instagram pages where they are literally advertising themselves, then where's the small percentage? See, that's the percentage that men are looking for. And when I say men, of course, I am talking about the successful men. And when I say successful, see, on YouTube, you have to dig deep into certain things. You have to go further. You have to explain yourself further because people try to take things out of context. You know what I'm saying? But with me, you're not going to do that. So when I say successful, I mean in your eyes, because to me, success might be different than you, and your definition of success might be different from the next man, because we all see success as differently. But let's all be real though. Success definitely means being of higher status, because a broke bum on the couch cannot say that, oh, him eating chips, watching movies, or playing video games all day is successful to him. Yeah, he might try to say that, but let's be real. That's not the definition of success for anyone by any means. So when you are a successful man and you are looking for that small percentage, that very small percentage of ladies that are not on IG, that are not on OF, that are not doing corn, that are not advertising themselves, that are not all over the internet, it gets hard to find. Of course it does. Because you have to also think about the majority of women that actually want said man. Yes, the majority of women want men that make 6 figures, and now that's not even enough. When I say that's not even enough, you have heard women say they want a man that makes at least $500,000 a month. Let that sink in. Do you see how delusional that is? But they don't care though, because if the price is right, then they will play. If the price is right, then they will play. They will do anything for that currency, for that bag, for that dollar. And when I say bag, I'm not talking about a Birkin. I'm not talking about Hermes. I'm talking about for that bag, that currency, that money, that green, that moolah. They'll do anything for it. And I've seen this with my own 2 eyes. Now, where that comes into play, where that lies and corrupts the dating market, is that not every man has that type of money. So if not every man has that type of money, how many men are lonely and single right now? How many men have not been on a date in the past year right now? How many men have not even spoke to a woman within the last month right now? And I'm not talking about your mother. I'm not talking about your aunt. I'm not talking about your coworker. I mean a romantic partner. How many men have had a romantic partner within the last month? I guarantee you it's not a lot of y'all. It's not a lot of y'all, so put your hands down. Put your hands down. It's not a lot of you. So there is an epidemic of loneliness that is spreading. Yeah, y'all thought CV-19 was bad. This epidemic is even worse because it's spreading amongst the black community, white community, Hispanic community, Mexican community. It's spreading everywhere. It's not just limited to one demographic of people. No. It's spreading to everyone because as social media gets bigger, as the internet gets bigger, as the world becomes more computerized, guess what's happening? People are going to be able to sell themselves at a quicker rate. You see how you can go on Amazon, click a button, and it gets delivered to you? That's how it's going to be in the future. That's how it's going to be in the future. Sexual encounters are going to be no more. They're going to be, well, I should say romantic encounters are going to be no more. There won't be any more romance because at the click of a button, someone will be available for you if the price is right. Remember I said this. Remember I said this because I have predicted the future on numerous occasions. So remember I told y'all, in the future, sex is going to be like Amazon. You click a button and it is delivered to you. That's it. Point blank and simple. So you will have access to someone at the click of a button because that's what IG is. That's what it's gearing us towards. IG is where you go to advertise yourself and then you redirect them to OF. How many times do I have to tell y'all? Yeah, go ahead. I see you checking that IG feed of yours and you're clicking on one of those baddies, as they want to call themselves, one of those baddies pages, and look in her bio. She probably has an OF fan in there. If you haven't clicked it already and been subscribed to her page, we know you. It's a lonely epidemic going around. So what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do? What are you going to do about it? Is there anything we can do about it? I don't know. Well, actually, I do know. I just don't think you're willing to do what it takes in order to get back to where we were because we are too far gone. Everyone's too far gone with the internet. The internet can be a beautiful thing, but at the same time, it's not being used for that. It's being used to push agendas, and it is being used to funnel the men who are making money to all of the women globally. See, these are the men that are sleeping with the most women. These are the men impregnating the most women. That's why there are a lot of single baddies out there. Yes, there's a lot of single baddies out there. So the chick on your IG page right now that you clicked on and you thought was so bad, trust me, she probably got 2-3 kids if she doesn't already have them in her bio. She's not already showing them in her bio, which some of them, well, what am I saying? Most of them don't show their kids in their bios, but they probably have kids by some guy that was smashing it, hitting it, and he ran. He had some money, and he paid to play. So are you willing to pay to play? Or do you want to change the dating market? Because right now, as it stands, things are just going to get worse. They're going to get worse and worse and worse. And it's been gearing towards this since the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. And here we are, a new day, a new year, and nothing has changed except for the currency. So if the price is right, the price is right. She's willing to do anything for it. It was nice talking to y'all. Until next time. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.